Hello, good morning, and welcome to This Date in History, also known as TDH. This show is all about the events that occurred to date in years past, both recognized by actual historians, but mainly things that we personally find intriguing enough for us to bring to you. Oh, sorry I'm a little out of breath, really warm, been running around and doing stuff. So, anyway, the sources of this information come from the Smart Device application, Today in History, What Happened Today in History, Historical Calendar, and the website onthisday.com. For links to those sources, the music, and anything else potentially interesting that we gather throughout the show, check the underbar of the description below. Anyway, I am A.O. Xander, and today is, what is today? Thursday, also known as Thursday, June 23rd, 2022. Starting us off in the year 1532, Henry VIII of England and Francois I of France signed a secret treaty against Emperor Charles V. 1547, the champion of the Protestant Reformation, Philip I, Landgrave of Hesse, was captured and taken to South Germany. It kind of sounds like they're taking the gnomes to Isengard, whatever, the hobbits, right? Whew, man. 1661, marriage contract for Charles II of England and Catharina of Portugal. 1683, William Penn signed a friendship treaty with Lenni Lenape Indians in Pennsylvania, the only treaty not sworn to nor broken. Whatever that means. Man, it is hot today. 1789, French King Louis XVI rejected the demands of the Third Estate, calling itself the National Assembly during the opening stages of the French Revolution. 1794, Russian Empress Catherine II, or Catherine the Great, granted Jews permission to settle in Kiev. 1810, John Jacob Astor organized the Pacific Fur Company in Astoria, Oregon. 1819, first editions of the Sketchbook of Geoffrey Crayon Ghent by Washington Irving was released, featuring a story Rip Van Winkle. 1868, Christopher Latham Sholes patented the Sholes and Gideon typewriter, the first commercially successful of its kind. Cool. 1888, Frederick Douglass was the first black U.S. citizen to be nominated for U.S. Vice President. Cool. 2 years later, in 1890, in an effort to solve the Uitslander grievances regarding voting rights, President of Transvaal Paul Kruger instituted a second Volksraad responsible for controlling local matters. Also in 1898, Emilia Aguinaldo issued a decree replacing his dictatorial government with a revolutionary government with himself as president. Well, yeah, at least he's, transitioning from dictator to something, it sounds like. I don't know. Anyway, 1902, monument to composer Gioacchino Rossini was unveiled in Santa Grossi, Florence, Italy. 1919, Marcus Garvey's Universal Negro Improvement Association, UNIA, Incorporated. 3 years later, 1922, during the British Open's Men Golf at the Royal St. George's Golf Club, Walter Hagen became the first black U.S. citizen winner of the first American-born winner of the first U.S.-born winner of the Open Championship. First stroke ahead of runners-up Jim Barnes and George Duncan. Sorry about the black comment. The first thing I see is like first American something, so it's always usually African American, because. Like why do we call people, black people African American? Are they citizens of both an African nation and an American nation? Is every last single black person in this country a dual citizenship? No! So they're not African American. Elon Musk is whiter than me and he's an African American. Okay? We gotta stop with that shit. In 1926, the 8th French government of Aristide Brand formed. 1927, New York Future Baseball Hall of Fame first baseman Lou Gehrig hit 3 home runs in Yankees' 11-4 victory over the Boston Red Sox at Fenway Park. 1931, Wiley Post and Harold Caddy took off for a flight around the world. Alright. 4 years later, 1935, UK Foreign Secretary Anthony Eden offers Benito Mussolini a Somalian harbor. Huh. Wow, look at Benito Mussolini there, looking all smug, like, I'm Mussolini. I had tortellini for lunch. 1939, Bronco Nagurski beat Lou Thesz in Houston to win National Wrestling Association World Heavyweight title. 1940, after conquering France, Adolf Hitler visited Paris and viewed the Eiffel Tower and the grave of Napoleon Bonaparte. 3 years later, in 1943, the Royal Air Force discovered Wernher von Braun's V1/V2 base in Peenemünde. Yeah, the V1, V2s, man, those are terror weapons. 1944, Thomas Mann became a U.S. citizen. Okay. 1945, 77th Belmont Stakes, Eddie Arcardo aboard Pavot win in 2 minutes and 30.2 seconds. Oh, jockey, okay. Horse racing. 1947, U.S. President Truman's veto for Taft-Hartley Act overwritten by Congress. 1956, The Jimmy Durant Show last aired on NBC TV. Also, 1956, Gamal Abdel Nasser was elected president of Egypt. 1960, the first contraceptive pill was made available for purchase in the U.S. 1961, Cubs Ernie Banks ended his 717th consecutive games played streak. 1963, during the U.S. Open Men's Golf, the Country Club, Julius Brothers won his second Open title in an 18-hole playoff with Arnold Palmer and Jackie Kopet. Also in 1963, U.S. President John F. Kennedy toured Western Europe. 1967, U.S. President Lyndon B. Johnson and Soviet Premier Alexei Kosygin held first of two summit meetings in Glassboro, New Jersey, which is about halfway between New York City and Washington. I don't know, man. New Jersey is like right next to New York, so. 1969, Joe Frazier technically knocks out Jerry Quarry in 8 for heavyweight boxing title. 1 year later, in 1970, Charles Rangel defeated Adam Clayton Powell Jr. in Democratic primary in New York. Huh. Also in 1970, rocker and singer Chubby Checker was arrested for marijuana possession. That's such a bogus charge. Anything they can do to pad the coffers, right? 1972, U.S. President Richard Nixon and his Chief of Staff H.R. Haldeman agreed to use CIA to cover up Watergate. Abuse of power, massive misuse and abuse of allocated resources. But hey, what do you expect from Tricky Dick? He came from California. 1975, rocker Alice Cooper fell off stage in Vancouver, breaking 6 ribs. Ooh, ouchie. 1980, David Letterman's show debuted on NBC TV daytime. Nice. Also, 1980, South African Prime Minister P.W. Botha warned the country that confrontation will be inevitable if his proposed President's Council failed. Hey. 3 years later, in 1983, Solidarity leader Lech Wałęsa met Pope John Paul II during a papal visit to Poland. 1986, Tip O'Neill refused to let President Reagan address House. Okay, well that's not too nice, but... 2 years later, in 1988, Yanks manager Billy Martin's 5th term ended with Lou Filla named manager. 1989, the movie Batman premiered, created by Tim Burton, starring Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson. What was he? Jack Nicholson. Batman. Oh, okay, yeah, that's right, he was the Joker. Okay. 1990, police found marijuana at Chuck Berry's home. What's with these marijuana charges today? I mean, like, come on, man. Oh, shit, there goes my vape. 1990, TV Guide selects Arsenio Hall as TV Personality of the Year. Also, 1990, African National Congress leader Nelson Mandela on a U.S. tour received a tumultuous welcome in Boston. Tumultuous. Is that not good, right? Like, turbulent or something? Let's look up this word. Tumultuous. Making a loud, confused noise, uproarious, excited, confused, or disorderly. Okay, well, yeah, so it is a good thing. 1990, Weird Al Yankovic recorded Babalu music, whatever that is. 1992, Emmy 19th Daytime Award presentation, Susan Lukey lost for the 13th time. You know what? Maybe it's time to quit, Susan. 1992, Yitzhak Rabin won Israel parliamentary election. Why can't I read? Getting the muffin mouth again. Also in 1993, Nigeria's military dictator General Ibrahim Babangida annulled results of presidential elections and halted a return to democracy. That's someone who needs to be overthrown. In 1995, during the Glastonbury Festival in Pilton, England, Oasis, Pulp, and The Cure headlined with other performers, including Sinead O'Connor, Tanita Tikaram, Simple Minds, War, Indigo Girls, and Jeff Buckley. 1996, Archbishop Tutu retired as Archbishop of Cape Town and head of the Anglican Church in South Africa. 2000. That's David. Oh, that is David Bowie. Yeah. For a second, I thought that was Macaulay Culkin again. Glastonbury Film Festival, or the Glastonbury Festival in Pilton, England, opened with the Chemical Brothers, Travis, and David Bowie headlining, with other performers including G Love and Special Sauce. That sounds suggestive. David Gray, Willie Nelson, Ladysmith Black Mambazo, and Macy Gray. 2003, Barry Bonds stole second base against the LA Dodgers, becoming the first player in Major League Baseball history to have 500 career homers and 500 steals. Dang, that's a full 1,000. He got the 5 and 5 right there. 2004, Bob Dylan accepted an honorary doctorate, a musical degree from the University of St. Andrews, Scotland's oldest university. Nice. Good on you, Bob Dylan. 2005, during the NBA Finals, San Antonio Spurs defeated defending champion Detroit Pistons 81-74 in Game 7 for club's third title. Most valuable player Tim Duncan, his third MVP award. Yeah, I'd be making that same face too. Ooh. 2009, Akio Toyoda was confirmed as the new president of the Toyota Motor Corporation. 1 year later, in 2010, during the Glastonbury Film Festival in Pilton, England, Gorillaz, Muse, and Stevie Wonder headlined with other performers including Vampire Weekend, Snoop Dogg, Shakira, Willie Nelson, Ray Davis, and the Pet Shop Boys. 2010 as well, Marina Bay Sands Casino Resort, owned by Las Vegas Sands, officially opened in Singapore with an infinity pool on the world's largest cantilevered platform. I gotta check that out. You know what? World's largest infinity pool. World's largest infinity pool. I know I didn't spell. The Aurora Sky Pools, Dubai's Salm Tower. Images. Let's see. Oh wow, that's frightening. I'd hate to be on that. Yeah, you won't find me in that pool anytime soon. 2011, Transformers Dark of the Moon, directed by Michael Bay and starring Shia LaBeouf, premiered at the Moscow Film Festival. Why are they always premiering at the Moscow Film Festival? What are all these Hollywood movies doing in Russia? 2011, during the NBA draft, Duke point guard Kyrie Irving was the first pick of Cleveland Cavaliers. 3 years later, in 2014, Claude Monet's Water Lilies was sold at auction for $54 million US. 2016, during the Brexit referendum, United Kingdom voted to leave the European Union. 2016 as well, Amy Schumer announced her first world tour during a sold-out performance at Madison Square Garden. 365 days later, in 2017, Bridge Over Troubled Water, single organized by Simon Cowell for those affected by Grenfell Tower fire, reached number 1 in the UK charts. 2018, Zimbabwe's President Emerson Mnangagwa survived probable assassination attempt after a blast at the election rally in Bulawayo, Zimbabwe, killing 2 and injuring nearly 50 others. Also in 2018, an explosion at a rally in Addis Ababa after a speech by Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed killed 2 and injured 150. Well, that's weird. 2 explosions the same day, different African leaders, right? I don't know, it's a little fishy. 2019, Ashay Barty became the first Australian female in 42 years since Yvonne Goolagong-Cali to attain world number 1 tennis ranking when she defeated Julia Georges 6-3, 7-5 at the Birmingham Classic. 2021, just last year, Britney Spears requested a judge to end her court-ordered conservatorship stated, "I think this conservatorship is abusive. I don't think I can live a full life." Shut up, Britney Spears. You're a pop star. You have no voice aside from the microphone. You gave away your rights when you signed that contract. I'm sorry. Anyway, moving on into bursts, and I had forgotten to put in bursts and deaths. So let's just do it by the edge of the seats here. 1894, Edward VIII, King of the United Kingdom and Dominions of the British Empire and Emperor of India, from January 20th, 1936 until his abdication on December 11th of 1936. He was born in Richmond, England, dying in 1972. Wow, so he didn't even last a year. Huh. 1910, Jean Anouilh was a French dramatist. Antigone the Lark, he was born in Bordeaux, France, dying in 1987. 1912, Alan Turing was born on this date. He was a British mathematician and computer scientist pioneer the Turing machine. He was born in London in 1954. What is the Turing machine? Let's see here. Turing machine. Oh. The Turing machine is a mathematical model of computation describing an abstract machine that manipulates symbols on a strip of tape according to a table of rules. Despite the model's simplicity, it's capable of implementing any computer algorithm. Wow, that's impressive. Definitely going to add that in the underbar here. Who else was born today? 1929, June Carter Cash was a U.S. Grammy Award-winning country singer, specifically the Carter Family Johnny and Cash Show, and a songwriter, Ring of Fire. I was thinking of Great Balls of Fire, but Ring of Fire. The Ring of Fire, that one. And she was also an actress. She was born in Massive Spring, Virginia. She died in 2003. Clarence Thomas was born on this date in 1948. He was the 108th U.S. Supreme Court Justice. He was born in 1991. Justice from 1991. He is still alive. He was born in Savannah, Georgia. So he's still a justice. So keep on keeping on. Hopefully you're not one of these nut jobs. 1957, Frances McDormand is a U.S. actress. Fargo was the film she was in. She was born in New York City, New York. New York City, just like Hank Hill. 1972, Selma Blair is a U.S. actress, starring in Cruel Intentions and Legally Blonde. She was born in Southfield, Michigan. 1972, Zinedine Zidane is a French soccer midfielder / Real Madrid manager. Champions League 2016 through 17 through 18, World Cup in 1998, born in Marseille, France. Duffy was born today in 1984, specifically Amy Ann Duffy. She is a Welsh singer for Mercy. She was born in Gwynedd, Wales. Moving on up into the deaths. We have Vespasian, 79. Roman Emperor. He died at the age of 69 years old. Oh, not nice, you know? Vespasian, wow. Jonas Salk died today in 1995. That's one hell of a time jump right there. He was a U.S. biologist who created the polio vaccine. He died of heart failure at the age of 80. Oh, wow. Nice. What about the polio vaccine? You know, that's incredible. 1997, Betty Shabazz was a U.S. educator and civil rights activist who was the widow of Malcolm X, and she died from burns suffered in a fire started by her young grandson at the age of 63. Wow. Yeah, what's with people and starting fires, you know? What's with people and being violent? Well, that appears to be the only deaths on the record today. Well, that concludes the show. Once again, you can check the underbar for any links that you may be interested in. For your dose of past events daily, we stream every day at 10 in the morning Pacific time. Hopefully tomorrow I'll be a lot more prepared. Just haven't had the time, really. I am A.O. Xander, and you are you. And until you catch us tomorrow, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Also check the underbar for any links that, I don't know even... I don't know. I gotta hop to stuff. So anyway, until tomorrow, toodles! Let's go, Brandon! Where'd my thing go? Where'd it go? There it is.